What's going on, YouTube? This is Jim Afanis, and today I'm joined by my lovely wife, Miss Rachael. How you doing, Miss Rachael?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Happy anniversary.
Yes, happy anniversary.
This is our 5-year anniversary today.
Yes.
And in case you're wondering, I did not forget to say this is aka vypermajik. I've dropped that moniker. I did a video previously explaining it, but I noticed the look in your face. Did he forget his tagline? I did not.
Oh, okay.
It's been a while since you've been on. It's always good to have you on the show. Thanks so much for coming back. In front of us today, you see about 1/3 of my anniversary present. As usual, Rachel spoiled me, and the box that we're using to record this video right now is the Forza Motorsport 6 Collector's Edition, Xbox One.
Yes.
Behind me is a Destiny Limited Edition PlayStation 4.
Yes, yes,
But today, finally, in the mail, we got in the third installment of this set, which is the Halo 5 Guardians controller set, I guess? Is that the way you want to call it?
So for some reason, when I pre-ordered these online, or when I ordered them, so it was kind of a little thing. So first, they're like, oh, the charging station is going to be free. I'm like, okay, cool, let me order both of these. Then the next day, hey, by the way, Best Buy is going to give a $15 gift card away as well. So that's one other set of orders. So I've already returned one set of these. Now these are the set we're going to keep. It came with a $15 Best Buy gift card as well. Mm-hmm. The charging station was free, normally about $35. Mm-hmm. All you had to do for the low price of $70 each is buy both of these controllers.
Happy anniversary! Where's the bill? So you mentioned something to me earlier today about collecting things. And you said, I want you to repeat what you said, because it really struck a chord with me.
So we were online today checking out the Fallout 4 Xbox One controller. I have to say I was actually kind of sad that it wasn't a Microsoft license. It was licensed, but it wasn't an original Microsoft controller.
Yeah,
so,
it was like a third party knockoff. It wasn't like the regular brand. It wasn't made by Microsoft. It was made by some generic company.
Which I was really disappointed by.
Yeah, I was too.
And then, so I was doing some internet research like I like to do on things, and I saw the Fallout 4 controller from PAX Prime. And once you see that, you're like, wow, that is so much cooler than this one that they're trying to sell. Which, by the way, is not just available on Bethesda's website. It's also available on GameStop.com. So if you missed out on the 5,000 that were on sale today, you can still get it for the regular price of $59.99 at GameStop.com.
That's my understanding. Is the 5,000 limited quantity today was solely for the discount, but they still sell them regularly elsewhere.
I think it was 20% off.
I think everything's like 20% fire sale or something.
But you can still get it at GameStop.
So if you missed it and you decide you need it, go have fun with it. I think it'll be a cool stick.
But while I was looking, I saw some comments by people, and somebody, I don't remember who, said that, they had kind of given up on collector's editions as far as games. What they were doing was collecting the different Xbox One controllers.
Yes, and that is what struck a chord with me. The room that is the room around us, all the collector's editions on the shelves, all the reviews we do of collector's editions for PlayStation will not change one bit. However, you gave me the brilliant idea. Thank you so much. Let's collect controllers instead. At this point, I would like to point out that I did get the Forza controller, which I'll talk about a little bit when we talk about these other two controllers. At this point, I now have more controllers than games. That'll change soon, but
maybe
not.
We'll see.
Anyways, you want to go ahead and get started opening one of these?
Yeah, let's go ahead and open them. Let's start with...
We have Locke, Spartan Locke edition. We have the Master Chief.
Let's start with the Spartan Locke one because, quite honestly, I've seen the most about this one. So this one is kind of the least
out of the way
exciting for me.
Yeah, so I was on the fence about the whole collector's edition of the Xbox One, the Microsoft... the Halo 5 branded one. I don't know if I'm going to like Locke. I know the guy who does the actor. I've seen a lot of it in the TV show, and I know of what he is about, but it's really hard to go against the Chief. So, what's inside? a piece of white cardboard.
Wow, that was a really, really non-dramatic opening. And, you know, I worked so hard at perfecting this opening. I was going to show you guys, and then it's a white sheet of cardboard. Now,
dump this.
Here we go. Onto the actual controller as it is displayed. Action. There you go.
Oh.
Ooh.
So what's your first impression with it? Now seeing it not online, you got to feel it, hold it, look at it. What do you think? Tell me all about it.
Initial impressions. So I love the blue chrome effect on it. The D-pad is kind of cool, but again, I'm a big fan of things that are silver. I like silver. So this silver and blue scheme really speaks to me.
Okay. So let's pop it out and see.
Pop it out.
Nothing else in here? Oh, AA batteries.
You got a set of batteries. That's great. We'll go through those in, what, about 3 days?
Well, not anymore with the charging kit.
So there's the controller. Nice, good close-up here with my shaky hands. And we'll spin it around so you can see it.
Also included in the box is one of the rec packs, which unlock your bonus rec pack, including the Resolute visor. So it comes with a digital code, which is on the back. I won't show you the code. Sorry, dude. And then there's an advertisement for both the original controller we picked up and the other controller, the Master Chief one. So very cool. So what do you think?
So I will tell you guys, I am not a huge fan of the Xbox controller. It just doesn't fit well in my small hands. So as you can see, I have little hands.
And I have big paws.
This just, it's not super comfortable. It's not as bad though as the 360 controller. I guess they've done something to make it a little bit better for small hands. So I'll show it to you.
Okay. First impression right away, I mean, it pops. It looks amazing. It's really bright. It's vibrant. I love all the details. They did talk about these at length, some of the quote-unquote Easter eggs. I'm not exactly sure what these symbols are on the side here. There's symbols down the side, and then on the other side appears to be all of the Halo, like their names. Like you have to, your letter, like, you know, John is Spartan 117, all that sort of thing. That looks really, really cool to see all that. One thing I'm surprised about in the look, this hexagon isn't really much of a different feel than the rest of the controller. It feels just like plastic and plastic. I was expecting more of along the lines of like the Forza controller, which has a rubber grip on the back. I'm not saying I expected that to be a rubber material per se, but it's kind of misleading. You pick it up and it looks like, oh, this is going to be a very unique, vibrant texture, and it really isn't.
It does look like on the back you should feel some difference here. Nothing. And then there is a little bit of texture here to this, but
yeah, the hexagon. I know that's kind of the shape of the armor that they have now. The Spartan 4 armor is this hexagon armor, but it doesn't really feel a lot different. I mean, the reality is you're not going to be sitting there like mauling the front of the stick. You're going to be playing with it, but pretty. I like the. I do like the way it looks. I think the blue on the D-pad really stands out more than anything else on here, but overall it's got a good feel to it. It does look pretty sharp, and looking forward to playing with this. Did you point out on the back in the middle, obviously, is the two-tone. Were you talking about this grip here?
Yes.
Okay, because there is a block here. I don't know how well this camera picks it up. There is a block there on the side, and that is the identical texture to everything else. So even the looking at it, the lines maybe a little bit indented slightly, but for the most part, looking at it compared to the Forza 5 controller, they're both pretty much the same. They're very aesthetic. I'm not saying I expected anything different. I'm just saying that it's if you were thinking that that's a different texture, you're going to be sorely disappointed. I'm not disappointed. I liked it. I thought it was a cool one.
I think it looks good. I
do too.
I was looking forward to seeing this controller. All right.
Yeah, it's cool to see in the flesh, not to have it.
Let's move on to the next one.
Okay, and that is the Master
Chief controller.
That is the awesome Master Chief controller, which hasn't really been getting the publicity that the
Spartan Locke
has. And I know Locke right now is kind of a hot item. Everybody's been talking a lot about Locke. Locke. What is he all about? What is he going to do? Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? So he's definitely gotten the attention. Obviously, the Halo branded console
is modeled after him as well.
After his Spartan 4 armor. So I know in the past, obviously, they've done more Master Chief-esque, consoles with the 360 and that sort of thing. But it's okay to pass the torch if he's deserving of it. I just don't know until I play the story, which is ultimately my reason as to why I did not get that. Did you open it upside down?
I did.
You're falling apart.
I know.
The reveal of the white. Oh, you did good that time. Look at that.
This time.
Nice, and it stayed inside. Now that was a good reveal.
Yes.
I'm proud of you. That looks really good. Okay.
All right, let's pull this beast out.
Pull that sucker out. I'll take the box from you here. While you're looking at it. Batteries, I'll pull those out. I'll pull the rec pack out. Tell me what you think about that one. How does that pop compared to this?
So again, we've got the metallic D-pad.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition to that, you will see we've got the same kind of honeycomb effect. We got some lines heading across the front. We'll show you the side. Now the first thing I noticed when I looked at the back is that the triggers on this one are a similar color to the metallic D-pad, which is different from the Spartan Locke one, which didn't have the metallic blue triggers, which I think would have been a good touch instead of the silvery metallic.
You are absolutely right.
So I'm a little disappointed now. But
wow, I didn't even notice. If you hadn't pointed that out, I wouldn't have noticed that.
Now let's keep spinning.
Interesting.
Now this texture on the back here is again the same. However, the shape, if you can look at both controllers, is different. So they do have different touches to them.
Okay.
Then if you look, even the honeycomb on the front, different shape.
Okay. Okay.
Overall, I guess I'm wishing that the contrast on this was a little bit greater. It seems kind of plain from the front, if you will. What do you think?
I see what you're saying. Obviously, keep in mind that Master Chief is just a kind of overall green armor, a lot of scars and battle damage. And
so, yes, I agree with you. However, when you compare that one to this Spartan Locke one that's got the blue stripe on it, I would have liked to see some more of that detail, or give me some of the battle damage on the controller.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. I agree
give
with
me
you 100%.
Something to make it a little more interesting. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the triggers on the back that are in that same metallic color are a good touch.
Yeah.
But I would like something on the front to make it pop a little bit more. Maybe that's just me. I like things that are shiny.
You're right. One other detail I wanted to point out quickly. On the back, in Braille, I did read about this. It's probably, the camera's probably not going to pick it up, but on the back center is 117 in Braille. I don't know. I'm assuming, that's what I read. That one doesn't have it. This doesn't have the markings of the blue team on it or anything like that from the Master Chief. The team he's working with just has it has a red triangle or an orange triangle on each side, and that's about it. I do agree with you. I agree with your assessment. I think from a trigger standpoint, this controller is awesome. I love these vibrant gold triggers, the way it matches with this. It really gives me a sense of the Master Chief's visor. And you're absolutely right. Maybe Locke's visor is more of a gray color, but I do agree. I think that's a missed opportunity not to put that bright, vibrant, shiny blue color on the stick. Obviously, the texture on the D-pad for the Master Chief controller is a lot shinier than it is here. However, I still would have liked to see that bright blue. I do agree with you. Overall, to me, they feel great. I'm still more partial to the PlayStation 4 DualShock 4 controller. Although I've been really playing a lot of Forza, and I really do enjoy the dual motors on the Xbox One controllers. But this is very pretty. I would want to display this, I would think, more at an angle so the triggers really pop, because I think that's what sells it. If you just looked at this just flat straight on, it would look kind of boring.
Yeah.
You really do need that controller, the triggers in the back to really kind of complete the package.
So as you guys have heard, our next presentation will be on how you display your controllers to their best advantage.
Yes, we'll have to figure that out.
So now, as we talked about, the Forza controller has this texturized grip on the back that neither of these controllers have.
Yeah, and that was one of my selling points.
This really feels pretty good. You know, it keeps your fingers from slipping.
Yes.
Which, I don't know about you guys, but, you know, if you're eating while you're playing or you haven't washed your hands, right before you play.
Cheetos fingers on my sticks? No, thank you.
So...
yes, this was to simulate the racing wheel. To simulate like a leather racing wheel feel. And I do like that. This controller, even though we're not really talking about it so much, is definitely a lot more plain than the other two. But... they're all great. I do like them. I like the presentation on all of them, but I do agree with the control, the D-pad versus the triggers. I think that needed a match. I think that was a missed opportunity there.
Yeah, and also I would have liked to have seen a little bit more detail on the Master Chief version of the controller. It seems very plain in comparison to the Locke controller.
It does.
All right.
Now,
moving on.
The reason we waited so long to actually do this video, because these sticks have been out for a couple weeks now, I believe, was because, as Rachel said, first of all, it was an anniversary present, so I didn't know about it. But it was on back order. We finally got it today. This is not officially licensed in terms of, like, let me rephrase that. It is officially licensed by Microsoft, but it's not a Microsoft product. It's made by PowerA. They make a couple other different types of control sticks as well. With different, they make the one that has the glowing, and there's a couple other smaller ones. I think these are the same guys that make the one that's a little smaller too, the reduced size one.
I believe you're correct.
So this is now I know there are different charging stations while you're pulling through all the packaging. There are different charging stations. One of the major things I do not like about the Xbox One is there are no USB ports in the front. I think that is a huge omission. And as a result, because I plug everything into these IKEA cubes, the console fits in just perfectly. And the only way I'm going to be able to plug in a controller using a Play and Charge kit is either use my PlayStation 4, my Wii U, or have the USB cable kind of reach around over the top, and it looks horrendous. So I feel like this is probably going to be a better charging kit for me. Okay, so inside is the two stands, and looks like just the power brick. Now, unlike the other controllers, the Play and Charge controller that is the official made by Microsoft that just replaces the battery, this one actually requires a stand. So let me pull these out and see what's going on here. Yes, this is what this is something we'll talk about in a second here. Let me take a look at that and see. Take a look at that and see while you're opening it all, and look at that and see. Okay, so inside we have a bunch of plastic, and does that pop out pretty easily? Or?
Nope.
Of course not.
There we go.
All right, let's move this out of the way. It's just a power brick, nothing to see there.
All right, so as you can see, dual-sided.
Okay, so that's to emulate the Master Chief and the Spartan Locke. That's kind of why they sold them in a set. It rattles a lot.
It does rattle quite a bit.
What's inside there? Oh, okay, so it like weighs down and then...
So that's how, I guess... I wonder if it pops up when
like
it's done charging, or if that's just like how you enable the toaster.
It's like you're ready to play. Boom! Grab. Okay, so one of the things that I was concerned about with this particular style is that you'll notice that on the traditional Play and Charge kits, the battery's replaced and you charge it via the micro USB port on the top of your stick. Mm-hmm. Okay. On this one, the battery cover actually completely is replaced.
Yes.
So you take the original Xbox controller battery off, the battery case off. You put this special battery in. I don't know how. There's only one way, but I don't know which way it is. Does it say here?
Yep.
Did you already figure it out?
Yeah. You just push it off.
Which way? Plus, minus? Plus,
line
minus.
up the pluses and the minuses.
Line up the pluses and... Okay, and it plugs in there. It's a pretty nice fit. Mm-hmm. You didn't get it yet, you liar. You do it all yourself. Okay. It lines up the plus and minuses. And then you have a special battery cover. I'll show you the original one. This is on the original controller. And this is on the other one. You could see a hole there. See the hole? The hole is what allows the battery terminals to be exposed. in order for you to charge it. And this is something that I'm not particularly sure if I like yet. I'm still working on whether or not I like this.
So I was hoping, because this was the charger that came with the controller and it was going to match, that when you replaced your battery back, that it would be the same color. That is not a correct statement.
Yes.
You may not be able to see this, but these are two different colors.
The battery, I will say that the stock back is definitely a shade darker, and it has more of a matte finish to me. And unfortunately, one of the cool Easter eggs of the Spartan, the Master Chief controller, was his 117 in Braille, which now, if you decide to keep this charging kit, you lose, because now you have a different back. Something to keep in mind. So now when you have the new case plugged in, you have your terminals exposed in the back. And I'm guessing that as you just kind of set it down, you plug that in, however, and does it just click in? Maybe it's up so that it could be displayed, and down is actually like the charge in. Does it feel like it's a good connection when it's plugged in?
No.
It does not? Okay. So I push down, it pops out. This is very loose, very rattly. I push it down, and I take this and I slide it over. And I do, yeah, it feels okay. This side doesn't. This one does wiggle a lot more than this one. That's very odd. Oh, yours isn't. Well, hold on, push it down. Wait, lift it back up for a second. All right, put it back down. Let's see. Yeah, I heard it.
It may be user error. But
there we go. No, that's better. I was, okay. It's pretty, you could tell when it's in. There's really not any other ways to do it. It does slide down. It's pretty well guided in. I hear the click of each of the little brushes kind of rubbing up against it. And there's also a kind of a notch on the bottom of the, let me lift this up for a second. There's kind of a notch on the bottom of here where the controller sits in, which fits into kind of where the USB would be. Or not the USB, where the, I don't know what that charger's for. It must be the old headset. It does lock into place. Not lock in like you can hang it upside down, but it's pretty clear as to which way it goes in. It'll charge a battery. I'm sure of that. That I don't doubt. It definitely loses a lot of the pop on the controller because the graphics into the charging kit are so cheap. And it's very plasticky looking, and it's like a toy. Yes, it does have the UNSC logo on it. Yes, there is a distinct Master Chief side and a Spartan Locke side. But short of that, I don't know. And I'm guessing the reason it does pop up is because if you want to display it without charging it, you could. If you wanted to leave it as like a stand of some sort. Yeah. I think I would like it better if it could detach and you could have them both facing each other instead of back to back. You wouldn't use this as a display.
No, you definitely
You really couldn't, or just one side, I guess. I don't know. The fact that it's a different back, are you really going to turn around and look at the back of the controller? No. It doesn't feel any different texture-wise. It obviously looks different.
However,
it does have a bump.
It's got a bump, which...
Yeah, and that's kind of...
not...
That's one of the other things I wanted to point out. So the smooth finish on the back of the standard controller, this is the Forza one, it's completely smooth. It's flat. It goes like a nice curve, the flat cover, and then flat on the other side. That one has a big bump in the center, and that's a good angle. I hope the light picks that up. It definitely
so you can see the bump
up.
right here.
Yeah, it sticks up maybe a millimeter or two on each side, and it just doesn't have the same kind of professional finish to it that I would expect. So I'm not entirely sure I want to keep this.
But more than that, yes. I don't know. My fingers seem drawn to it versus gripping around. They just seem to want to kind of wander versus staying on the grips.
So yeah. So normally you're right. You know, normally when I play, my middle fingers aren't curled completely around the stick. They're kind of more like this. But you're right. With this, I have a tendency that I feel like I want to, like something's wrong, or like I want to smooth it out.
Well, and like so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest my fingers up against that, which is going to cause, and it's even doing it right now as I'm holding this. Going to cause pain right where my middle finger meets the fingernail. So I'm not a big fan of this. This was not what I was expecting.
I would agree. I'm on the fence about this. I mean, it was for free, I guess, so it's not really like we have much of a say in kind of how we were going to do with it or what we're going to do with it. I do need a charging kit that does plug in the front. I mean, even on the back, the finish, the stickers are a little scratched up. It kind of just wobbles. It's
cheap.
It's very, very cheap. I mean, if it charges a battery, that's kind of what it's meant to do. You know, this will be something you kind of put behind your couch and just don't look at it really. There's a wire guard cut out in the back for the AC adapter.
Yep.
I'm just afraid something like this would like burn your house down or something. It just like, I don't know if this is like ready for power regulations or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there is on the bottom side here, there is just a little port that plugs in. The cable tucks in nice and neat on the bottom, so it does lay flat. And then you just put your controllers in when you want to have them on, being held but not charged. Then you depress them down, and you're set to go. When you're done, let's see if it is spring-loaded. Is it enough? I was going to try to catch it. It wasn't spring-loaded enough. I didn't think it would be. So, closing thoughts on the unboxing of all things Halo 5 peripheral. How about that? What do you think? Final wrap-up.
I like the Spartan Locke controller. Couple of missed opportunity there with the triggers. The Master Chief controller, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more on the front, but I love the metallic triggers on the back. The charger, it was free.
Maybe there's a reason it was free. If you are on the fence about this charger and you don't have either controller, okay?
Pass.
Do not buy this. I would not recommend buying this. For what I needed to do, for how my current setup is, where the console slides into a very tight space and there's no side on anything on the side to run a cable through, and I don't want to have a USB cable over the top of the console, this is going to meet my needs. I'm going to put this controller behind the couch on the floor with the charging kit. You'll never see it. And I'll just pop it. When one gets low, I'll pop the other one down, and I'll swap them out as necessary.
And I'll swap the back plates off of them as well so that it's a smooth finish, because you can do that with the thing. You just can't charge it on there. However, my recommendation would be that you go with the plug-and-play kit from Microsoft.
I agree.
For $24.99 regular price versus this for $34.99 regular price. As a free add-on, can't go wrong there.
Correct.
As a not free add-on, I would pass.
I would too. So there you have it, all things. So it's a little deep dive. You got to see both controllers. You got to see the play and charge kit, or the, what do they call it? What's the name of the box? Show the box again if you don't mind. The Halo charging
station.
The PowerA charging station. Click down to charge. Click up to store, just like we thought. We're actually reading the box at this point. Keep your Xbox One controllers fully charged and ready to game. And that they will be. They will be fully charged. However, you are going to have this big bulge on the back, and you just got to keep that in mind. Now, you're saying you think you can actually pop this off and put the old one back on? I don't think you can.
You don't think so?
No. Because it sticks out. There's a cut. There's a cutout here.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah, you won't be able to. So if you actually wanted this kit, you're going to have that bulge in the back. Yeah, it's got a cutout in the back.
You are.
So keep that in mind. Like I said, if that's something that doesn't appeal to you and you want the smooth finish, maybe this will be solely for display purposes.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go buy the Play and Charge kit with our $15 gift card and put these two controllers on ice. We will see. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do us a favor. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let us know what you guys think about the Spartan Locke controller, the Master Chief controller, and the PowerA charging station. And if you want to see more of Rachel, leave it in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. And until next time, we will see you guys on the other side.